Caitlin Clark and DeWanna Bonner just kind of going back and forth. Caitlin shooing her off like, hey, shoo.
And Caitlin Clark threw her hand at her. Look, go scream your ass on over there. Remember? Going on over there because you lame now. You lame, DeWanna Bonner.
With Caitlin Clark having an interaction with DeWanna Bonner out on the middle of the floor, sort of waving her back to the bench.
DeWanna Bonner, who you think you is? Who you think you is trying to walk up on Caitlin Clark like that? Who you think you are? You ain't nothing but a scammer, a quitter, and a traitor.
Caitlin Clark and DeWanna Bonner getting into it is at least one positive thing.
2 minutes ago, chaos hit the court. Dana Bonner and Caitlin Clark got into a heated clash that shocked everyone. Now the league is investigating, and tensions are at their peak.
I gotta admit, the end of the Fever Mercury game made me sit up for a second because it got a little spicy with Caitlin Clark having an interaction with DeWanna Bonner out on the middle of the floor, sort of waving her back to the bench.
I'm sure most of you have already seen this viral moment, Caitlin Clark and Dana Bonner going back and forth. Clark even waved her off like, shoo, keep it moving. But let's be real, in this game the refs were giving the Mercury some terrible calls.
All right, so I'm pretty sure the majority of you all have seen this infamous moment here, man, where Caitlin Clark and DeWanna Bonner just kind of going back and forth. Caitlin shooing her off like, hey, shoo. Just telling her, go on by the way, man. Now, I can't lie. Looking at this game, fam, the refs were calling some egregious fouls for the Mercury. I can't lie.
Here's the moment between Caitlin Clark and Dana Bonner. Clark waves her hand, signaling for Bonner to move along, almost brushing her off. The refs were standing right there watching, which only added more tension to the game.
Caitlin Clark had this situation right here with DeWanna Bonner. This is it. Let me see. Can we hear it?
Then you see Caitlin Clark to the right behind the coach coming out, John.
Caitlin told Bonner to get the F onto her bitch. And this more. Now the referee stood there. Caitlin Clark threw her hand at her.
Caitlin Clark and Dana Bonner got into a heated exchange at midcourt, with Clark waving her back toward the bench. It all started after a foul was called on Lexi Hull, which Bonner clearly didn't like. As Clark argued with the refs, Bonner mocked her by throwing up the challenge signal, turning the moment into pure drama.
With Caitlin Clark having an interaction with DeWanna Bonner out on the middle of the floor, sort of waving her back to the bench. Caitlin, basically, they were arguing about a foul call because Lexi Hull got called for a foul on Bonner. And Bonner is looking back here, as you can see. And Caitlin comes out on the floor. Basically looks like she's complaining to the refs, like she typically does. And then Bonner's mockingly doing the challenge symbol.
Dana Bonner, who do you think you are walking up on Caitlin Clark like that? You've got to be out of your mind. Don't get it twisted, you don't step to the goat and run your mouth reckless.
DeWanna Bonner, who you think you is? Who you think you is trying to walk up on Caitlin Clark like that? Who you think you are? You ain't nothing but a scammer, a quitter, and a traitor. You got me twisted. I don't know who you think you are walking up on the goat talking crazy.
If there's one positive to take away, it's Caitlin Clark and Dana Bonner going at it. That fiery exchange might have been the highlight of the night.
There was one positive thing. There was absolutely one positive thing. Caitlin Clark and DeWanna Bonner getting into it. Caitlin Clark and DeWanna Bonner getting into it is at least one positive thing.
From what I saw last night, with Caitlin getting into it and Bonner stepping in, the whole thing looked messy from the start. Honestly, Caitlin doesn't need that kind of drama.
Everything I saw Caitlin last night getting in there and Bonner coming over. I mean, this whole thing, this whole thing is bad business from the start, and Caitlin doesn't need it. Now, here's what I discovered.
Nate Tibbetts, head coach of the Phoenix Mercury, along with former Indiana Fever star Dana Bonner and her partner Alyssa Thomas, took shots at Stephanie White during their post-game press conference last night.
Nate Tibbetts, the head coach of the Phoenix Mercury and former Indiana Fever, DeWanna Bonner, along with her partner Alyssa Thomas, unloaded on none other than Stephanie White doing their presser late last night. And a lot of people kind of missed this, man. But you know your boy John Liquidator, I synced it last night, man, but I had to get some sleep.
The so-called quitter Bonner looked like she wanted to square up with Caitlin Clark last night. Watch this. Clark steps out from behind the coach, firing right back at Bonner as the tension boiled over.
DeWanna Bonner, the quitter bitter. That's what I'm going to call her. I'm going to call her the quitter bitter. That sounds like a more apropos name than DeWanna Bonner. Quitter bitter. Quitter bitter wanted to fight Caitlin Clark last night. Let's check it out.
But they come up, and then you see Caitlin Clark to the right behind the coach coming out and jawing at DeWanna Bonner. DeWanna Bonner says, yeah, it was a foul. And Clark to say, no foul, no foul.
This isn't the first time Dana Bonner, Caitlin Clark, and the Fever have clashed. These run-ins have happened before, and the tension just keeps building.
Look at all those teams have the same amount of wins. The Dream, the Aces, and the Mercury have basically tied for that second seed. Who would you guys rather play? The Aces, the Mercury, or the Dream? Who would you guys rather play in that second seed? The Aces, the Mercury, or the Dream?
Caitlin Clark gets tangled up with Bonner, and you can see her reaction right away. For many fans, this was the moment things crossed the line and went way too far.
Which makes the loss against the Mercury feel worse, even if the loss against the Mercury was to be expected. And even if the Fever are still in a good spot as far as the playoffs go, though, more of a perilous spot having lost that game.
Dana Bonner's frustration boiled over, and once Caitlin Clark got involved, things escalated fast. That's what really sparked talk of a league investigation into what happened on the court.
DeWanna Bonner, I don't like her either, but you know what? She put a good game against us the other night in Phoenix. Talk your talk. Because if you can do it on the court, that's the only thing that matters. I don't care that Caitlin Clark came off the bench and was talking trash to her after the game. Y'all took the L.
After the clash with Caitlin Clark, Bonner was visibly emotional, even tearing up at one point. With the cameras capturing everything, the moment quickly became the biggest talking point of the night.
Glimmer of hope for the game, but pretty much as soon as the Mercury gained some momentum, it was always the Indiana Fever trying to play catch up. I have to give credit to Kelsey Mitchell because she came away with 29 points. I also have to give credit to Lexi Hull, who came away with 18 points. And what else were the stats?
She was heated, yelling, "That's not a foul. Stop it. That's not a foul." Going back and forth with DB. But honestly, if we're being real, it was a foul. Still, fam, that was barely a touch, more like a light tap. Come on now, that's not a real foul.
She was like, that's not an effing foul. It's not a foul. Stop it. It's not a foul. So she's just going back and forth with DB on this one, man. But honestly, yeah, if you want to be technical, it was a foul. But fam, that slight caress, come on, man. That was not a foul, man. Stop it. We done seen worse plays where players are bumped midair and no foul is called. But you want to call that one?
Go yell somewhere else, because you're lame now. Straight up lame. Dana, you quit, you gave up, and now you're nothing but a lame.
Here you go. Right here. The fuck over there. Go ahead. You lame now. Bye. Scream over there. Complaining to the referees. Oopsie daisy.
At the very least, it turned into a viral moment. As for the game, it slipped away from the Fever by halftime, with only a couple players really stepping up. Still, that fiery exchange brought some life to the night, with Caitlin Clark showing her trademark feistiness in the heat of the moment.
Either way, at worst, it's a viral moment. And then there's the game itself, which got away from the Indiana Fever at the end of the first half, really. But this was a game where only a couple players, but that last bit brought a little life to things. Not only the Fever fighting back in it, but again, Caitlin Clark being so feisty in that moment.
Clark waved Bonner off, saying, "Beat it, bum. You're trash. A quitter. A straight-up thief. You stole money from the Indiana Fever, a thief in the night. Dana Bonner, you've got some nerve stepping to Caitlin Clark and talking reckless."
Yeah, man, Caitlin Clark told her, "Beat it, bum. Beat it. Beat it. You trash. You a quitter. And you a thief. You stole money from the Indiana Fever. You a thief in the night, DeWanna Bonner. You got some nerve trying to talk crazy to Caitlin Clark. She the only reason half the people even know you. Nobody knew you throughout your career. Wasn't nobody watching your games.
Just think about it. If the Indiana Fever didn't have Caitlin Clark, where would the WNBA be right now? The league is buzzing because a star like Clark changes everything. What happens next could shift the whole game. Don't miss it. Like, subscribe, and share.